older adults are focused on using their social network to maintain life satisfaction, and you're supposing that older adults have more of a goal of maintaining positive emotionality and life satisfaction, that you'll see this play out in the cognitive realm as well. That older adults do a lot of things in relating to memories and attention and so forth as a way of regulating emotion and maintaining a positive emotional state. And in general, as she's moved into the emotional sphere, Carstensen and followers have argued for this greater salience of emotional material relative to information, and then a positivity effect in processing information. It's not entirely clear what salience would mean in the cognitive realm, and we'll come back to this, kind of summing up after we go through some of the other some of the research slides. But one of the things that's pretty clear is not quite true, although younger adults in the social sphere may have this need for information gathering and learning about the world in a different way. It's pretty clear that across the age range, everybody prioritizes emotional material over neutral informational material. And young adults tend to prioritize negative emotional material very consistently in research. So other things being equal, if you've got like a set of negatively valenced words, neutral words, and positive words to remember, young people do best of all with the negatively valenced words, somewhat less well with positively valenced words, and then worse with the information words. What you do find, relatively speaking, older adult performance drops off most usually with the negative words and the neutral words. Mostly in that order, I think, although it gets a little tricky what you're looking at. And they show the least deficit, least difference relative to younger adults with positive valence material. And that's what a lot of the positivity effect in emotion itself and the processing of emotion information is based on in Carstensen's research and the research of her associates, is that there's less problem, less age difference in processing positive information.
Just for clarification, so in that example where you're comparing like younger and older adults, so the younger adults are doing poorly with the more positive words compared to the negative words. Is that correct? So they're having an easier time remembering or identifying the negative words.
The younger adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the older adults, you said that there's less of an age difference in positive. Is that taking into account the fact that the younger adults are doing worse on the positive than the negative?
Carstensen's principal finding is based on there being less difference between young and old people on the positive words.
And the younger are doing worse compared to negative, and older are doing better, but there still is, like, they're closer there than for negative, but I guess I just wanted to make sure that maybe I'm not communicating it in the best way, but it just seems like, I don't know, like the section, where the younger adults are doing the worst is where the older adults are coming the closest, and that's the positive. Is that correct?
We'll have some examples to particularly look at. I think it's, I'm not sure, actually. One of the issues is that the exact profile, aside from the closeness of the positive performance between young and old, the exact profile of what happens actually sort of varies across experiments. And anything that points in the general direction of the positivity effect is counted as a win. So older adults doing better than younger people on positive would count as a win. Older adults doing tons worse on negative than younger adults might count as a win. So you get a lot of different patterns, and it's not. Some of them I think are actually close to contradictory between studies, even the stuff coming out of Carstenson's Island. There's always something that kind of points in the general direction of on balance and positivity effect, but it's not always the same thing. And we'll see a little bit more of that. We'll see what's else next. Yeah, let's stop here. Some talk about spring quarters.
No, I don't even finish. I use the I pour out and I I'm like
You didn't take it.
Yeah, I was really excited about it because I thought
I don't think I could waste good wine, even bad wine.
Depends what you're there for.
Yeah. If I'm paying $20, I'm getting
60. It's at the Beverly Hills Wine and Cheese Store. That's how I do my gerontology appreciation. Like I appreciate aged cheeses and wines.
I can go to Trader Joe's and get 10 bottles of wine for $20. It's gonna be great.
I started.
Miss New Jersey.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I have a bottle of vodka that's pretty badly. That's
It was really embarrassing on Sunday. Like I was here before. Like,
well, it's in the freezer.
No.
and it makes me not miss you now.
It's done.
And
it's
You went all the way home?
you can't even get the
It's crazy. 21. After the wedding, after the reception, house party.
We don't even know.
So let's pick up and finish off for the day.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I mean, I would, but
I got to this topic in a kind of roundabout way in the sense that actually originally Liz Zielinski and I were interested in looking at what the clinical focus has often been about sad mood and depression with regards to older adults, of the idea that depression interferes with memory in older adults. And we started up to do some work on that a decade or so ago. And in the process of the first sort of pilot study that we did on that, we started looking into the literature more about mood and cognition. And I discovered that in younger adults, most of the focus on sad mood and cognition was actually on the mood congruence phenomenon. Most generally, mood congruence is the idea that you're most likely to recall memories that are consistent with your current mood state. So it actually could refer to any kind of emotion, and it generally just suggests that the emotion that you were in when something happened is one of several cues that you could use to recall that event or something else that you learned actually. And so that your current mood will make it easier for you to recall things that were consistent with your current mood than things that are inconsistent with your current mood. Most of the focus has been on depressed or sad mood in the research. There is a somewhat smaller literature on happiness and elation that I think is less consistent, internally consistent overall, and tends to lean more towards finding that people in happy moods are probably more creative in their thinking and also less realistic in their appraisals of threats and the risk of future events and so forth. And there's kind of a sub-theme in all this literature of emotion and cognition about what's called depressive realism, and the idea that